Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. This is Latara Venice, soul care provider and the founder of Color Your Soul, where we help you to have necessary conversations around the stories of your life for mental and emotional balance. And this is my morning, I don't know, I guess you could call it like morning devotions. Whatever you want to call it. Does it spark you? Does it inspire you? Does it encourage you? Does it motivate you? Whatever you want to call it that. Just don't call it nasty or ugly. Oh gosh, but I called this morning segment Color Your Soul Intentionally. Color your soul intentionally. What does that mean, Latara? That means that you have to be purposeful in the care of your soul, in the soaring of your soul. You have to be intentional on how you show up every day and know that your soul matters in that showing up. You can't show up with a lackluster soul. You can't show up with a soul that's grayed out. You must show up with a soul that is well colored, like the God that we serve. Kingdom is colorful, y'all. Kingdom is not dull. It is not boring. It is wonderful to be a citizen of the kingdom. It is awesome to be in his presence at any given moment. And we're always in his presence. So we're going to be doing this every day. Monday through Friday is my goal. My goal is to be on between 8 and 8:30 in the morning. I would try a little bit earlier, but can I be honest with you and say I don't even like to talk to people before 9. So this is kind of me like Breaking Bad, right? You know, Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad means you're getting rid of what was wrong with you, working on some better habits. And not that that's a bad habit. It's just that I know these early morning hours are times when people are really seeking and looking for some morning motivation, some inspiration, something like that. Good morning, Mike. And so that's what I'm here for. And as I will say this all the time, we'll be here for about 10 to 15 minutes at the most. And it's just a way to spark your morning, to learn how to truly color your soul intentionally. I have this concept that I talk about before I get into this. I don't even know if God may shift it to this. I don't know. But this concept that I talk about is called intentional awareness. Because a lot of times we react, we live from our subconscious ways and thoughts and the stuff that's just been kind of stuffed down in there for years and years or, over time. And so we're subconsciously existing and we're not paying attention to how God has called us to live. We're not aware of our surroundings at any given moment. And I just call that intentional awareness. You have to be intentional about what's happening in your world at any given moment. This is how accidents happen. This is how all these things happen. And so the goal here, especially with Color Your Soul, is teaching you how to be intentional with what's happening in your world, in your emotional state at any given time. So let's get into the topic or the devotion or whatever you want to call it for today. Good morning, Daphne. So shine your light, shine your light. Color your soul intentionally by shining your light. One of the things that I tell people is that when I ask God, how do I begin to heal? How do I begin to walk this thing out? I don't want to repeat this. I don't want to come back to this dark space because I was in a deep abyss, y'all. I don't want to be this person. I was hermited. I weighed almost 400 pounds. I was very, very people paranoid. I'm still kind of people paranoid, but I'm getting over it. I'm purposely, intentionally building relationships. Something that I was not used to until the last few years. Just got to be honest. So I said, God, what do I do? How do I heal? And God said, if you don't mind sharing this out so other people can know about this morning time. So God told me to serve. God said, serve. I was like, serve, serve, serve. In serving, I found myself so many ways. And the first space where I really began to serve was at a transitional home here for women called Wonderfully Made. And my My friend Lisa Miller Baldwin, who is no longer with us, was very instrumental in my show up. I would teach a class once a month to the women, and I didn't even know what to give, but I had all this content that God was giving me, and I didn't know it would be used all these years later. I had all this stuff that God was giving me, all these things He was telling me to teach these women to help them shine their light, not knowing that. And I shared my truth with them, what it was like, who I was with, what I had been with, the stuff I had been through, because these women, they had been homeless, they had been abused, they had been, neglected, they were going through depression, they had mental issues, all of which I had dealt with. So why not share my story? So in that healing, in that phase of serving in that capacity, I also became the job center coordinator, because we built out a program for helping women to become gainfully employed, because they always had to be doing something to stay in the home. And God really utilized me so much and opened me up in that. And then I began serving at different events here, and it did something to me. It didn't just help my light to shine, it helped my soul to soar. I started meeting people, I started coming out of my shell, I started just doing things differently. I began to gain sister friends, right? I began to learn how to, because I really had issues with communicating with men. I began to learn how to have conversations with men that were, good conversation. I didn't feel intimidated or anything like that by them. And just the serving opened me up. And before I knew it, here was Color Your Soul, where my light is truly shining. So I hope you caught what I said. I hope you caught the story there, because in serving, I was healed. In healing, my light came forth. So today, what do I do, Latara, to color my soul intentionally? By shining my light. Go serve somebody. Go help somebody. There's a purpose for light. There is a purpose for light. I put my glasses on so I can read these comments. Yes, Mike, it is more blessed to give than it is to receive. It yields a higher result. And there's a purpose for the light that you will shine. And that purpose, catch me, that purpose is first off to glorify God, to bring glory to Him. But it is also to help others to shine their light too, because you're shining a light on some of the darkest areas in not just your life, but other people's life too. When you serve where you're supposed to be serving, you are shining a foundational light on people. By foundational, what am I saying? You're helping them to stand on top of the very things. Good morning, Katina. You're helping them to stand on top of the very things that God has for them, to see beyond the darkness. That's the purpose of light, to help you see into and beyond the darkness. You know how some light, you have some flashlights and they shine just on just that one little area, right? Like this light here. Okay, it's just shining. Ooh, my light blew out. Light blew out. Uh-oh, that's a whole nother message. But it just shines right here. It doesn't show the other side of my face, right? It just was shining right here. But then you have some lights that are so bright, they shine all over, and everything is shown. You see everything. That is the purpose of light. We're called to be the salt. We're called to be the light. And Matthew 5:14-16 talks about that. And I want to read it. And I'm going to read it through from the Message Bible. I just love the Message Bible. I know, right, Mike? It says, let me tell you why you are here. You are here to be salt seasoning that brings out the God flavors of this earth. If you lose your saltiness, how will people taste godliness? You flavor people's lives. Uh-oh. You've lost your usefulness and will end up in the garbage. Here's another way to put it. You're here to be light, bringing out God's colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. If I make you light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? I'm putting you on a light stand. So God has you on this light stand. You're on this stand and you're shining forth for people. Now that I've put you there on a hilltop, on a light stand, shine. Keep open house. Be generous with your lives. Be open to others. You'll prompt people to open up with God, this generous Father in heaven. Here's the most powerful thing about this whole thing right here. People wonder why I'm so vulnerable. God told me to be first off. Lord, healing, serve, tell your story. Okay, you want me to tell these people my story? Yes. So I did. And I've been telling it and I've been telling it. And can I tell you how many more people have been blessed because I've flavored their lives, right? And I've shined a light on some of their darkest areas by being vulnerable. Not by telling them about themselves, not by judging and pointing fingers at people. That's not how you shine light on people. Light is bright. God's light is full of love, not judgment. Catch that. So I shine bright on these people by sharing my story, by telling who I am, by allowing myself to serve in my rightful place of service. And I add the right flavor to the people I serve. And I shine a light on them that helps them to say, wow, I really need to shift this stuff. I really need to work on this. Let me get myself together. Because that's the reality. That's the reality. You got to get yourself together, right? Shine your light. Here's the key, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Here's the key to shining your light. You have to know what your light is all about. You have to know your identity. But that comes, right? Your light gets brighter and brighter the more you learn about yourself. Discover your identity. Shine your light. And the more you shine, I learned so much about myself day in and day out. Some of it not so good, and I go, okay, LaTara, you got to work on that. And some of it I go, wow, God, you love me that much? Wow, I'm really favored. My identity is being, how can I, solidified by the power of the kingdom in me, through me, over me, around me. And that's how my light shines brighter and brighter. It's not one week that goes by that I don't cry and thank God for my light shining, because I know it's intentional, and I know that He is with me, and I know that I'm walking in what He has established. People say, oh, you don't seem like you get nervous. Baby, yes, I do. Every time, listen to me carefully. Every time I get ready to come on to a live stream, I get a little nervous. When I have to speak, I tell people, y'all give me a tissue box and some water, because I'm probably going to cry and my mouth going to get dry because I'm so nervous I'm going to talk too fast. That's my reality. It's getting better, right? But every time my light gets brighter and brighter, because God keeps identifying me. He keeps saying, this is you. This is who you are. But if you won't even turn your light on, it can't get brighter. It can't shine where people need it to shine. You have a responsibility to shine in some folks' dark spaces. But first, you got to let God's light shine on who you really are, right? So we're going to talk about identity tomorrow. And I hope this was helpful for you all. I didn't mean to go this long. I'd like to be about 10 minutes. 10 to 15. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Remember, these videos will be downloaded and uploaded to YouTube. So go over to my YouTube channel. Just look up LaTara Bussey. Make sure you subscribe, and if you miss any, you'll be able to catch it, or anything like that. Just go over there and just subscribe and help support the work that we're doing here at Color Your Soul. So this is LaTara Venice. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. I love you. If nobody says that to you today, you can say, LaTara told me she loves me this morning, because really I do. Bye-bye.